Hey everyone, what's up? It's me, back, this is rolling. It is 3:19 in the afternoon. I made a video last night at about 12:30 in the night. I've been having some problems getting it uploaded because it's pretty long. It's about 18 minutes long. Um, I should get it up before you get this one, before you see this one. I have to split it into the two because it's so long and just other problems happen with it. So by the time you see this, you should have like two smaller videos at about 10 minutes apiece, and this one. It's imperative that you watch that one. That one's probably gonna be titled the most important video yet, because it really is. I'll probably do like the most important video yet, 1 and 2, and then I'll have this one on here. So hopefully now you've watched those two videos, and this one is titled managing your care, and this is really mainly for you to know what to do with your care in the case of you ever being in a situation where you have to be in a hospital. I think I mentioned before that this is my first time ever where I'm in a hospital. I'm 44 years old, and I've managed to stay out of any type of hospital care. My first IV was when I actually got diagnosed with this madness. Um, but through it all, I am very methodical about what happens with me, what they're giving me, which is why I'm always telling you guys, oh, I'm on this steroid, or I'm on this now, and this comes next, and I'm on this kidney medicine, because I'm grilling them as they walk through the door. And I think I showed you before this chart over here. So this chart tells me all things going on, what day it is, who my RN is over here, who's my PCA assistant, and this section here is all for me. Now, normally in the morning, I have this full of questions. Bow, bow, bow. And this is stuff that I'm firing back at them to say, hey, what's going with this? What's next? How's this work? What's the effect of this? What's the side effect here? What should I look out for? And in the morning, they come through. This crew, my doctors and all the attendants, they're waiting for me to ask them questions because they know I'm going to fire it up. They know they are. So here it is now. I had these two expert nurses. I think I told you before that they're going. I showed you Andre earlier to do with 13 kids. Makes me feel like a chump. I got 6. You got 13. Easy with all that. No more catching up. And then I had Melissa, who was absolutely fantastic. She's on her way to becoming a certified nurse practitioner, young girl. And she broke down so many things for me through the process. She answered all my questions. These nurses know these drugs inside and out. So, okay, here we go. Today, time check, 2:21. I'm going to try and keep this under 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes for you guys today. Last night, I get someone who's not new, but not too fresh. She knows what she's doing. She's okay. Doesn't really know my questions. She can't answer things. She's giving me stuff she's not sure what's supposed to give me, and I'm grilling. I'm like, so why you give me this? And why you give me that? And where's this? And where's that? She gave me something, and last night was the first time they didn't give me a steroid with my chemo. I'm like, where's my steroid? Steroids make my chemo work better. No, that changed, whatever. This changing, why, whatever. So they're changing some of these things around, and they change them when I'm changing out my nurses. I'm like, whoa. So now I'm on their computer looking up things like, let me see your documentation, looking through their book, make sure they're not jacking me up. Okay, we get through that. I justify some of it. I send her back to the drawing board. She comes back with something extra. Cool, I get that fixed. Situation solved. I'm good. She leaves shift this morning at 7 o'clock. I get 2 new jacks walking through the door. Fresh. Well, one's fresh. One's a teacher. One's fresh out of school. 30 days. And she walks in and she's about to administer my chemo. First thing I'm saying to myself is, Lord, not Lord, help this girl out to do the right thing. It's, Lord, keep me calm. Because the new jack, and we're all new jacks. We all start someplace. But I'm like, this is my care. This is chemo she's touching. So the new jack, she's nice. She's really nice. She's on her way to be good. She says to the teacher, so do I do this next or do that next? And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. At least ask the question outside the door, not in my room in front of my face. But, alright, so I get that straight, and I turn on my wife, and my wife, she's perked up now. She's like, whoa, alright, we're on point. Now we're both in the zone. We're like, yeah, what's going on? Let's get this straight. We start asking questions. What are you doing? What's going on here with this? Where's that? Where's this? Turns out they're shifting a lot of my drugs now because I'm looking to go home in the next few days. Shifting a lot of my drugs to pills, taking them off of these things here to get my body used to something different than the straight intravenous thing. So that's changing, and I have to make sure they explain that because they weren't going to explain to me why. But they had to stop and go get other people and explain that to me what's going on. So after a few minutes, and now these ladies are like, okay, this dude is not playing, and he knows his stuff. Because I'm like, where's this Metro, whatever? And I'm like, where's this? And my Dioxy, and now I'm not calling them steroids or I'm not calling them chemo. I'm calling the actual name of the drug. And they're like, whoa. Because I know what's going on now. I've been here. I'm like, where's this? Where's that? How's this going? And I'm watching them. This machine down here, I could program this, but I'm not. I'm staying away from this. My wife kick out. She'll try to chip out if I start messing with this. But I know how to program that now because I know how to do it. I'm watching them for 3 days. So, oh, by the way, I'm wired, and I'm not on steroids. This is natural me just being pumped and hyped. This really is. So, anyway, so we go through all that. Finally get the man. They give me the stuff. They show me documentation. I'm on the computer. They bring me books. All right, cool. We're good. They're done. Situation solved. Today's the day that I need to have one of my most trying procedures yet. I need to get chemo through a direct infusion through my spinal cord. And that's after the girls leave, the nurses and the new jack and the trainer. So Dr. Kohler, who's been on my list for the past 2 days here, he's like the attending. He's nice. He does this stuff and he does it, at your bedside. Spinal cord type style thing. They pull fluid out of your spinal cord. Hello, walking around spinal cord. And then they tap it in the end, they fill it back with chemo. The same chemo I'm getting through up here, he puts a small bit back through there. Long story short, my time's running low. He's a pro, and he's got a student with him who's watching. A guy named Jeff, who's not even really a doctor yet, but he's just watching. And he's going at this for supposed to be 15 minutes, but he can't get the right spot. The pro, and I'm bent over and I'm like praying. I'm like, God, I'm praying for hands and doing the right thing. And he's like, Jeff, go ahead and call a certified nurse practitioner so and so. He goes and gets her, and she comes back in. She's like, no problem, I can do it, whatever. And that's like him calling in his reinforcements. This whole time, this procedure is supposed to be 15 minutes. It's about 30 minutes now, and I'm sitting here with my back bent over, and I'm praying for. This is my new jack day, and I'm times about this process and what's the secondary back. I knew about him calling secondary. I knew about the tertiary was him calling radiology and doing this under a CT scan. So I knew that this didn't work, and they had to be under a CT, and knew all that already. So I knew we were on the second level when he calls in the CNP. She comes in, and I don't know it, but she hits the right spot and gets the fluid rolling, and the wife is holding me, and she's like, yeah, you're good. Fluid's rolling now, and they pull the tubes out, and they put it back, and she's out of here in like 5 minutes. She's out. And I'm back up, and I'm like, whoa, okay. So I got chemo right flowing through my spinal cord right now, and that's good. That's going to see if any, and they have the chemo fluid out, they have the spinal fluid out of me to let me know if any has seeped in, any of these bad T cells have seeped into my spine. So that's really good. So at least that's done. So 2 major procedures today where I have to be on point mentally. So the moral story for you all, and that's really what this video is about. It's not even about me. It's about everyone else that ever has to go through any type of medical care is, the moment your medical care starts, 2 things need to happen. 1, be on point and manage your medical care. Trust what your doctor say, but challenge it. 2, your nurses are really the arms and hands of your doctors. Doctors are all the brain. They tell the nurses what to do, but the nurses actually have to administer all this stuff. They have to. So they are the ones that really actually put it all together. Doctors don't even know how to coordinate all this stuff here. They don't. Because certain bags have to be with certain other bags, and they can't cross over. And there's actually a third one. You go to the doctor, you go for any procedure, you go with your spouse, if you're married, or your best friend that's going to be on point with you, and they don't leave your side. You don't make any decision with or without them. Doctors don't talk to you without them. So a doctor may say something to you, and you're off in this tangent. The other person has to keep on track. You don't do any of that without them. And you make sure they understand. My wife's right here for every decision. It has to be that way. That is the only way. There's the reason why God put us together. There's the reason why. And if you're not married, you don't have a spouse, you got a best friend. And that person's with you. You have to manage your own care. And between you, your God, and your God above, and these doctors, you have to make sure that you get the best care. God's going to watch out for you, and God thinks for you. You got to pray as you go through it. I'm praying when I go through the spinal cord thing. I'm praying big time. I got through it. Turns out I may have to have this twice a month. I don't know. We'll find out in a few days. It can seep through. If it didn't, then boom, that's the praise report. But all right, so I'm out of here. I'm actually over. I'm about 11 minutes long. But I'll do another video tonight about just the ending the day wrap up. But you should have, by the time this one, you should have at least 2 small ones or 2 10-minute ones, and this is gonna be like 11 or 12 minute too. All right. Have a blessed day, folks, and hopefully I'll be home in a couple of days, and I'll be doing videos from my room. Cool. Peace.